in the life of it is not really one day off. It's a whole body of work off. It's like, a football team doesn't misses one practice. You lost a whole part of a game plan that it's going to affect the next 3 days. You see what I'm saying? So developing the habit of every single day, Monday through Friday, dedicating at least on a minimum. If you have a play day and you want to do stuff, that's fine, but dedicate at least 3 hours of making sure you've covered your card box and you prospected for new people. Make sure you set some goals. My goal always used to be, I want to talk to a minimum of 20 people. 20 decision makers, or 20 people that can get me there. With a maximum, if I really was pounding it out, say 50, that's when I was selling copiers. So this is very similar numbers. Copiers is hard. And then a goal, with an ultimate goal. I used to have an ultimate goal of getting an appointment. I used to call, if I didn't hit my 20 and I really wanted to take the day off, play golf, hang out with my girlfriend or something, then I would get up and I would call until I got at least one appointment, because that's the ultimate goal, is getting an appointment. Now you're doing appointments via, the telemark, at home office, which is fine. So whatever appointment means to you. I'm not saying you have to go out on an appointment. Whatever appointment means to you that's going to turn into a qualified person. Maybe it's just appointment means that you actually talk to the decision maker for 15 minutes. Make sure at a minimum every day you do that at least one time. You get a hold of one person that draws interest and you have a 15-minute. To me, that's an appointment. Don't take off a day without doing that. Now, if your goal is 2, which that was always my goal, and I really want to take off tomorrow, then my goal for that day is 4, because I got to catch up. I think setting goals and a plan to get to that is where you're at right now. I don't care who you talk to, your dad's friends, my friends, your friends' dads, or your friends who are making 6 figures. Don't take off a day until they've established themselves after 3 to whatever years. Trust me, if you do this for 3 years, you'll be able to take off days. I used to play golf every Friday. But you have to build that momentum and pipeline up. That if you would focus on that and really just hit it, you don't have to bust your ass 8 hours in sales, but you got to put in quality work for 3 hours. You got to put quality 3 to 5 hours in.
I think what happened to me was kind of like during the gold rush. You hit a lot of gold, but then you're trying to find more gold. And so what really happened to me during February was, in the month before that or after that, I had all these hotels that were just so perfect. And then I ran out of all of them because I kind of hit them dry. And then I was trying to figure out how to find other leads that were going to be just as good. And I started getting into the schools. I tried to hit the dealerships. I was just trying to find another niche that would be that would suffice what was good with the other hotels. And I really, I haven't found a vein that was as efficient as the hotels. So I'm still, the most viable source of income that I found is the schools, is like private schools, because I don't have to jump over a lot of gates. And that was really the best thing about the hotels. The hotels were customer service oriented.
I think it's great philosophy to vertical market, and that's what we call it, when you find a niche and you hit it. And I encourage you to continue that. The hotels are obviously seasonal, and the schools are not. So I do encourage you to keep doing that, because Gus is doing that with the county. He's not selling anything but county schools. If you could get that niche for private schools, word travels when you get in there. Gus is doing good because he landed a couple and they talk. I will guarantee you, your private schools talk to each other. If you could get a few of those in there, we do a great job. I think you should continue that niche. If you're running out because of there's not that many, you know, find another niche. I think, you know, we know that shopping centers are awesome in the summertime, but they're not awesome in the wintertime. Schools are year round, so that's a good niche. Hotels can be year round because they got rooftops. Now, the good thing is we are going to be moving into hotels again. We do need to wear two hats. We need to wear a hat to finish off this season with the rooftop, which is going to end in October. And now we're going, this is the time to start selling hotels again. So it is the time to pick that niche back up. Now, the advantage we have now, and I want you to think about this, before we could only sell Delmarva and Pepco. Now we can sell Smetco and BGE, not under the enhanced program, but under the building tune-up. We don't have to go into the full-fledged, I'm going to seal your windows, put in new, you know, do this and that. You could just use your same pitch and say, you know, this is a new program for BG&E and Smetco customers where we can now come in and do clean your PTACs, clean your hotel units. In the meantime, we could also possibly get you some thermostats for your common area. Not, here's where like Chris made a mistake, not for the bedrooms, the common area. So to give you an idea, Parker, Chris, we already finished our first job. Chris signed up a small hotel with 100 PTACs, okay? We did the building tune-up. The only thing we did is give him 10 new thermostats for his common area. Common area would be like a restaurant, a retail store, anything that's not a room. And we cleaned his PTACs. And we ended up, instead of $30 a ton, we ended up getting $45 a ton. And that's all we did. So you can still go and use your same presentation, different program. You don't have to get into this elaborate, we're going to do this and this if you don't want to, because the difference between the way we sell it in Pepco and the way we're going to sell it in BG&E is we do have to do the energy audit and get his bills. That's the only difference. Let the energy audit sell him once you do the eligible on other things we can do. But you could still sell, we can come clean your PTACs and get you new thermostats possibly, and get you an energy audit, and there's no cost to you. We ended up getting like $17,000 on that job. Our cut was $4,500, and then actually Chris made more than that. It was more than 45. So the way it works is we hired a company to change the thermostats. That cost $3,000. Chris, Harry's engineering company got 7, and we got the other 7,000. So we actually ended up getting, you made commission on $70 a unit in Smetco, where we usually make 30.
Right. Wow. Because
we get the excess profit to go into our PTACs. Every job is going to be different, but you can actually make more money in doing this in BG&E now, which is wide open. There's a lot of hotels you can do this to.
Danny, just take a second to say we're the only game in town in Maryland.
Not only for the enhanced, not for the tune-up.
Okay.
But I don't think but following on what Mark is saying, your dad is saying, nobody's going to sell it this way. If you sell it the same way as you sold all those hotels, but just sell them, the only difference is I need pre-COVID billing. I usually don't, just so you know, we don't need 24 months of billing. We need 12 months of pre-COVID. They don't have to give us the most recent 12 months. They just need to give us anything pre-COVID 12 months. That to make it easier for them, they don't have to, it's just that, okay? So the only difference is we do an energy audit before we do the PTAC. but you also make more money. Does that make sense?
No, I get it.
So you take whatever you're doing it, sell the same way. Just get two things and let them know they have to do an energy audit. Now, you can tell the customer if we find some kind of energy lapse, if we benchmark your hotel to another one, we find something. We may be able to do other work for you, but that's up to the engineer. And it still will be free. It's still no cost. Because if they have a kitchen, we can also do work on their refrigeration. Now that's on the building tune-up. So if you want to kind of like, instead of going out like these other guys are doing and selling this whole building tune-up, ceiling, air leaks and everything, me personally, if I was doing it, I would just sell the P-Tech with the energy audit and address the other things as the energy audit brought them up instead of guessing. Now the key to this is the thermostats. If they have older thermostats, we're going to get a lot of money because we're going to replace those thermostats with more economical, thermostats. If you run into a hotel that has a building automation system, they probably have chillers. We couldn't do chillers before. We could do those. So do you have any questions on that? Does that make sense to you where we kind of should just flow with what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I'm just focused on tomorrow. I understand what you're saying, but I just have to find another. I have to find more leads. I'm just gonna have to try and start tapping into, I guess, the hotels again and BG&E and Smecco and
Let me interrupt a second. Hey, Danny, just so you know, we got 3 minutes and 22 seconds left, or we'll have to come back and restart again.
Okay. We probably should come back and restart because I want to go over an incentive I want to give Parker.
Okay, so why don't we call it quits right now? Because I am recording this and you're doing a great job. So let's all hang up and let's all sign back on again.
all right.
All right, cool.